All right. A big thank you to Baker Street Blues. Woo! Yeah, thanks for kicking things off. And to Mother Nature for delivering a special sunny treat for the first event that we've had here with nice weather. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mobility Motivate at the Kootenay Resilience Festival. We begin by acknowledging that we're gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Sinixt people. We honor and their deep connection to this land and commit to co-creating a more resilient future together. So I'm Jean-Marc, and although my job is actually in housing innovation with GeoShip, I'm also a pilot, and I once built a little website called westjet.com. Also created a platform, an Uber of the skies in Canada, and a previous board member of the Kootenay Car Share. We actually made history with the car share by putting my Tesla Model 3, and it's the first one that was privately owned, put into a car share network in BC. Yay, Kootenay Car Share. But today we're here to explore how we can transform the future of mobility in our region by integrating electric vehicles, micro-mobility options, shared transport, and even air mobility solutions. So the Kootenay Resilience Festival is more than just a series of talks. It's a movement that uses creativity and connection to inspire collective learning, innovative solutions, and positive action. Today's Mobility Motivate event marks the final gathering in a series focused on creative sustainable transportation for our community and beyond. So a huge thanks to all of you for showing up, first of all, and to our sponsors and supporters. Number one, All Ears Production, yeah. Mountain Culture Group, The Langham, Creative BC, North Kootenay Lake Tourism, Kootenay Co-op, Nelson Credit Union, Boast, and of course, right here, our Kootenay Lake Innovation Center at the Kemble Center for making this possible. Thank you, sponsors. Also, all of our awesome local business owners here at North Kootenay Lake Bike that brought their lovely e-bikes, and everybody else that brought their mobility. So without you, we can't actually grow. Thank you so much for your support. Please consider hitting up the donations. We need your volunteer support and donations for this to continue. So let's not forget our food vendor, Feed Your Soul, over that corner, who's keeping us well-fed and energized throughout the year. Thank you, DM. And remember, this is it's more than a series of talks. It's about making connections and finding inspiration. While the music is playing, take the time to meet each other, ask questions, and discuss ideas about anything you want around mobility, housing, food, and energy. Don't forget to scan the QR code on either side of the pole here, and you can get to engage on a platform called the Thought Exchange, and you can submit all of your thoughts about mobility through that platform. It just takes a couple of minutes to do that. Lastly, thanks for everybody joining on the live stream, on video. This is all going on to all the BAT channels. And then onwards to the Kootenay Mountain Culture, well, you can read stories about all of this in perpetuity. But without further ado, up next we want to introduce Mayor Susan Hewitt and our exciting lineup of speakers, including Leslie Payne in the Kootenay Car Share, Mark Jennings-Bates, Rupert Robin, and Solita Work. After the panels, stick around for more live music with Stubbs and further engaging conversations leading into an after party at Buddy's. Thank you so much for being part of the festival, all of you. Thanks to Nish over there, everybody here. And let's keep the ideas flowing. On to the panel. Up to you, Mayor.
Just stand here and it works better. Thank you, Jean-Marc. Can everybody hear me? All right. Thank you, and for asking me to moderate this panel. I'm looking forward to hearing about all the great projects and hearing the speakers talk about what their mobility not issues. They're solving our mobility issues, hopefully. So with that, I will go to Leslie first.
Looks like it's the right height for me. Is this good enough? Am I close enough? Oh, there, that seems a little better. My name is Leslie Payne. I do a number of things, but at the moment I am doing some work with the Kootenay Car Share Cooperative. I have been a member of the co-op since 2018, although it did start 22 years ago, and is one of the very few successful rural car share cooperatives based on the cooperative principles, and started by a bunch of folks sitting around a kitchen table wondering why they all owned personal vehicles and were incurring those costs when they didn't really use them that much. It is centered in Nelson, but we do have a branch here in Caslow and Revelstoke. We have been out in a number of different communities, and I'll talk later about how we're trying to get back there. One of the foundational pieces of the car share is the sharing economy. So I think we've all seen, certainly through my lifetime, that we all accumulate a lot of stuff. And it becomes harder and harder to support our way of life on a finite planet with all that stuff. So outside of your home, your personal vehicle is probably one of your biggest investments. And we know that moving forward, most municipalities around the province and across the country and the world are talking about transportation being one of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gases. This is something that there are solutions for, and we need some big thinking, some creative thinking, and some shifts in what we think about personal ownerships, in particular around our vehicles. We can't really switch out every combustion engine with an electric vehicle. That's not going to work. And I think there are ways that we can move past that, and my foundational belief is that the car share is a big one. I am really inspired by a documentary I saw a long time ago called The Power of Community. It was created in 2006 about in the 1990s when the Soviet Union fell, Cuba stopped receiving oil from the Soviet Union and very quickly had to reshape their community, their country, and their ways of being to post-peak oil ways of living. If you ever want to see something inspiring about the fact that it can be done, and I know a lot of people might look at Cuba and go, maybe that's not the way we want to go, but there's some great lessons there. I think one of the things that hit me was as Cubans moved to active transportation that we're going to be talking about today, the average Cuban lost 20 pounds. So the health benefits we don't even talk about when we're considering active transportation and some of the solutions that are out there. I'm going to leave it with that. That's a bit of what I want to talk about today, and I think we'll move on to a lot of the solutions as we move forward in this conversation with the incredible panelists that I have behind you. Thanks, Jean-Marc, for bringing us together, and all of the sponsors and the participants that are here today and online. I can't wait to see how the conversation unfolds.
Thank you so much, Leslie. I'm going to go to the other side, and we'll go to Mark. And I'll let you have you go to that microphone.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Jean-Marc. And thank you, everybody, for coming today. My name is Mark Jennings-Bates, and I am here just to present to you the aviation side of alternative modes of transport. So we'll see where that conversation goes. Maybe what qualifies me a little bit, I think back in 2011, I led a team to a Guinness World Record, and we actually flew paramotors around Australia, about 8,500 kilometers. And interestingly, the guy who earned that record before us is from New Denver. So it's quite interesting that Valley's got some really interesting pilots here. So after I did that, I decided that it would be cool to be the first guy to fly a gyroplane around the world. And as I was talking about that with people, somebody said, have you checked out this company, PAL-V? I said, I've never heard of them. And they're in the Netherlands. And they were making a flying car, but using a gyroplane as the aviation platform. And so I thought, well, that's perfect. I could be the first guy to fly a gyroplane around the world, and I could also be the first guy to fly a flying car around the world. And so I bravely wrote an email to the chief operating officer at that time, a guy called Mike Stecklenburg. I said, Mike, you need to give me 2 of those. I think at that time they were worth about 800,000 US each. Give me 2 of those and I'll make you so incredibly successful you won't believe it. And here's my resume and here's what I've done. And I actually got a reply. And later I said to him, why did you reply to me? He said, Mark, we had tens of those come in every day. For some reason, yours stood out a little bit. So we went to see PAL-V, got to know them, and in fact, we haven't done the round the world record, but we did end up with the rights to run the business in North America for several years. So that was a big part of my world, learning about flying cars and the evolution in that area with EVTOLs, the regulations around it, combining the aviation and road regulations and trying getting approvals in different jurisdictions, and meeting some great people and being able to, in fact, talk to NASA about what they could do to assist the evolution of these kinds of forms of transportation. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you, and welcome to Caslo.
Thank you, Mark. So we'll go to Solita.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Solita, and I always like to start off by telling everybody that I'm not a cyclist. I ride bicycles, and the reason I say that is because riding a bicycle is transportation. It's not for recreation. You can do that. There's people that drive cars for recreation too, but I ride a bike because it's transportation. And I've been doing it for a very long time. So believe it or not, I grew up out here on a farm out near Beasley, and I had to take the school bus into town, and it was very long. And so I started riding my bike into town pretty young. And it was still kind of safe back then. I don't know how safe it was, but there was a lot less cars. And anyways, I'm actually not even a transportation specialist, but I've become that way over the last few years from lots of experience. But I ended up going to Calgary, and this is where life changed for me. I went to art school there, and driving there is terrible. It's really expensive. You spend a lot of time in traffic. Public transit is also awful. So I started taking up the bike again, and I rode everywhere. And what I found about it was it's affordable. I never have to go to the gym because I just ride my bike. I never get stuck in traffic. It keeps me healthy and fit. It's free. I can easily get to places in almost the same amount of time as driving. And sometimes it does require a little bit of extra planning. But, you know, the benefits over driving, it's a lifestyle, really. And I started meeting other people who live the same lifestyle. And what we discovered is that, you know, we live a smaller footprint, and we really enjoy life more, I think, because it's less stressful. We're getting our regular exercise. We see each other. It's a source of connection. You know, I mean, driving hasn't even been around for 100 years. Mainstream driving hasn't even been around for 100 years. Think of that. In 1930, maybe you'd have a farmer down the street that would have one, and he would give people rides, but there weren't hardly any roads to drive on. We've made all these roads to drive on in the last 100 years, but we've done very little to connect our communities. And in fact, I would say it divides us because we're stuck inside these metal boxes. It's very dangerous. We don't get a chance to visit with people, and it also creates a whole lot more waste. It makes us able to live farther and farther away from city centers and from communities. And we can't afford stuff, so we live farther and farther away. But then we fill our homes with more stuff, and we throw garbage out of our cars. So driving is one of these things where I think we really need to shift away and look at the benefits of riding a bicycle. But I mean, also car share makes sense to me, where it's part of the sharing economy, and the ride share, where if you do own a car, and in some cases we do need it, but there's so many spaces in between where we really can just ride a bicycle and of course walk. So, anyways, I'll save the rest for the question and answer. But thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll go to Rupert.
Hello. Yeah, my name's Rupert Robin. I'm a local commercial pilot. I moved to this area about 6 years ago, and one of the things that struck me about this area is actually how hard it is to get to, which makes it wonderful in itself because, you know, we're not totally inundated with 500 tourists every second kind of thing. But if you're running a business and you want to operate during the winter, you know, that's particularly difficult. I've spoken with businesses in Castlegar and around that area, and they simply don't do anything during the winter period that requires bringing in outside consultants, software specialists, even putting in large new pieces of equipment, because they can't guarantee getting those specialists in at a set date and even getting them out at a set date. And obviously that's to do with the weather at Castlegar, so I'm very pleased to look forward to the new approaches that they're putting in Castlegar. But it does raise the question of the kind of macro access, if you like, by aviation into this area and how to improve that. This area has 4 airports. None of the operators of those airports talk to each other. It appears to me, and I know because I'm actually now the manager, that's a big word. I do the maintenance on behalf of the city of Nelson at the Nelson Airport. Even to the point of buying a load of fuel to refill their gas tanks on the airfield. Each airport will do that individually. All the maintenance appears to be done individually. A conversation I'd love to see starting in this region is how to make the whole aviation sector more efficient in terms of managing the region's airports. I'd love to see even just simple integration, like Solita you were talking about, just, you know, getting places, public transport. There's 1 flight a day out of Castlegar now, and the bus service doesn't manage to align with that to deliver passengers to it or to take arriving passengers away. So the Castlegar Airport car park is always like totally full of vehicles, half of which are probably completely unnecessary if the bus service would just align its times. And that's, I think, part of starting a bigger conversation about how to integrate all the services that we have in a much more intelligent fashion. And that's something that I spend a lot of time kind of talking to people in the aviation community around here about, is how to make that more efficient. So I'm looking forward to hearing responses and being asked some questions and hopefully coming up with some more ideas. So, thanks.
Thank you, Rupert. So we've got a series of questions, and I'll pose them to the panelists. Any or all of you can answer any of the questions. So some of them will obviously be tailored to certain individuals, but feel free to dive in and answer if you have something to add. So we'll start with, how can local transit systems such as buses and community shuttles integrate emerging modes of transportation like e-bikes, car shares, EVTOL aircraft to create a seamless and efficient mobility network? Who'd like to start?
I can jump on that if you want.
Okay. Thanks, Mark.
Could you just read me the question one more time?
How can local transit systems such as buses and community shuttles integrate emerging modes of transport like e-bikes, car shares, EVTOL aircraft to create a seamless and efficient mobility network?
Great. Okay, thank you. So in regards to the question, there's probably 2 different scenarios to look at. One would be a rural center, like, for instance, we see in the Kootenays. The other is an urban center. So I'll just take the urban center out of the picture. And really what we talk about in this new mode of transport in that industry is the last mile solution. And all of these become part of that last mile solution, the option to get people from one collecting point and give them the chance to go where they need to within that region. And that is a broader discussion in urban municipalities as well. So if you look at innovative technology like Virgin Hyperloop, it can move a lot of people to a central station. Then they need to go to their workplace or to their homes or to their meeting, whatever it may be. And so they all fundamentally form a part of that solution. EVTOL certainly, the vision was that they would be a part of that solution. Practically, there are some real challenges with the EVTOL marketplace and from an engineering point of view, from a regulatory point of view. And so you're seeing that industry shift a little bit. So when we talk about EVTOLs, that's electrical, vertical, and takeoff and landing vehicles. And so you will have seen a lot of them on YouTube videos. You'll see people on flying bicycles where they've got 8 propellers around them. Last one I saw had no guards on it, so if the rider moved a little bit, they'd end up like a chopped liver. But regardless, the issue that you have, particularly with electric-powered flight and vertical takeoff, is the immense amount of power that's needed to lift the vehicle and the passenger off the ground, and that it actually moves relatively slowly, but the mission is short. So the mission is maybe 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers, what we've talked about, and so there is not enough airflow over the batteries to be able to cool them down from that very, very highly energized part of the flight phase. And then the next phase is the same again, except it's coming down. So that's one major problem that the industry hasn't been able to overcome yet, is keeping those batteries cool. And even the Google founder and some of the West Coast tech money that went into developing some of these vehicles, they're finding that they're getting problems with overheating of the batteries. The second issue is when you look at it from a regulatory point of view, and this is very much from an EVTOL perspective, obviously, what we want to do is we need to comply with aviation regulations. And so if you look at, in Europe, you've got EASA, the European Aviation Agency. Here we've got Transport Canada, and in the US, we've got the FAA. And fundamentally, there is literally one sentence that gives EVTOLs a hard time. And that sentence is that an aircraft under catastrophic failure must be able to be flown to a safe landing. Well, an EVTOL, if you look at it, just falls to the ground. And if you have some kind of ballistic parachute, it may actually fall to the ground a little slower, but it still falls to the ground and there is a collision. And when we're talking about trying to use traffic patterns, the only place we can allow that to happen is over farm fields and lakes and those types of environments. So logistically, regulation-wise, we've got some hurdles to overcome, and certainly NASA and FAA and all kinds of companies are looking at that, and it's led to a bit of a shift in the marketplace that I can get into in another question. But that's a short answer for the EVTOLs. They can be a part of that solution, but we're a bit of a ways off yet.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm going to come in with a bit of a low-tech solution on this, and that is the car share is investigating moving some of our vehicles closer to transit. So, for example, 1 day a week you might need to go into Nelson from Caslow. You can take transit in very economically, but if there's a car share car parked close to what will be new transit hub on Victoria Street, you could utilize that vehicle to get to your doctor, pick up the pet food, go down on the lake to Home Hardware, possibly pick up some supply. Well, you've got a Home Hardware here, so you wouldn't be doing that. But you'd be picking up a few things around town that might be challenging if you'd come into town on transit. Then you bring all of your purchases for the day back to the transit hub, leave the car where you purchased it, and get on and come back very economically on transit. So it sounds like a minor shift in our operation, but we feel that will make it easier for people coming in from outlying rural areas who don't want to use a vehicle to do that, even one of the car share vehicles that are here, because there is an expense involved in that, and one of our missions, our values, are to reduce the price of transportation for rural communities. So just by pairing up our vehicles with transit in the various communities that we serve, we feel that we'll be able to take a very low-tech step forward on that.
All right, from a bicycle perspective, So I'm actually on the board of the West Kootenay Cycling Coalition, and we just finished a feasibility study on putting a pathway in between Nelson and Castlegar. And so we looked at all different modes of transportation because we know that not everyone is going to ride a bike, and it needs to integrate and create actually a multimodal form of transportation. And one of the things that I proposed to the RDCK, because they're our partner on this project, is that we take all the community halls that are pretty much underutilized, except for maybe Tagum Hall, and create transit hubs with them. And those transit hubs would have car shares, bike shares, they would have public washrooms, they'd have safe places to park your bicycle. The other thing is they could even be like kind of cool accommodations for tourists if they're doing bike touring. We could make sure that every community hall has a bunk room in it. So, you know, it could be used for someone who their house burns down, and like that's what community halls are for. It's supposed to be the go-to place for community. Community halls are also located really close to everyone lives, and they're generally located on major routes too. So they could make really good transit stops for buses. That's one way we think that it would integrate. So we'd have all these modes of transportation in one easy-to-get location. And it just made me think about the flying cars. You know, maybe we don't have to maintain many roads if we can just get from those transit hubs in the flying car. But, you know, dreams. But that's kind of the thing we're looking at. And so the bike path, just if you're interested and want to find out more about it, you can see the draft plan on our website. It's westkootenaycycling.ca, and I will be presenting it to the RDCK board directors on Thursday at 9 a.m. in Nelson. And we're hoping that they will adopt the plan so that we can start going to phase 2, which is actually building some of those segments between Nelson and Castlegar and connecting all those different communities, including Tagum Hall, which we have made a presentation about doing exactly that, is creating a transit hub. And of course, buses also all need bike racks. And maybe even the cars. Car shares with bike racks too.
Yeah, so with respect to the integration, I think I mentioned an obvious thing in my introduction, which is like, let's take the bus services that we have, increase the bus services, because that's something that shocked me coming to this region, is how few buses there are and how seldom they run. I mean, I know I come from the south of England where, you know, literally if you had to wait more than 6 minutes for a bus, then that was because there'd been some kind of road accident further down the road. But that notwithstanding, you know, if you add more buses, then people use them. If there's only one bus a day, then that's only going to have that very few number of people that can use that one bus at that one time. So I'd love to see more buses. I'd love to see the timings altered so they actually fit with things like airplane departure times and arrival times. I'd love to see more hire bicycles in the various towns. You know, so if you turn up to a town, you don't have to walk all around on foot. You could just park your car one place and then go exploring on a little rental bike. You know, that'd be cool. And yeah, have a much more racking on the local buses would be great as well. I know I would put my bike onto the bus a lot more if I could guarantee that I could go and put it on the bus, you know, but there's like space for one bike. So, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your answers. Learning a lot today. So the next one is, what innovative strategies can be used to expand car sharing networks in the Kootenays, particularly in areas with low population density or limited public transit options?
But I'm open to other ideas. Yay. Okay, so a couple of things. So we have been around for 20 years. We've been building fleets. So we have 22 vehicles in a variety of communities. Vehicles are expensive. They're hard to maintain. And when we have them outside of our key area, it's also hard for us to monitor if there are any challenges with those vehicles and stay really tightly connected to the communities that we serve. So a number of years ago, incidentally, just before the pandemic began, the previous executive director initiated a program called Air Car Share. So think of this as Airbnb for your vehicle. So by having individuals in small rural communities and areas around the Columbia Basin, and we can really do this as far afield as we want, but that's our focus, hosting their vehicles with us, we have safe vehicles available to members of the community, meeting our mission of providing affordable transportation at the same time that those hosts of the vehicles earn residual income depending on what their vehicle availability is like. We know the data says that most vehicles sit for between 80 and 90% of their life, whether that's in your driveway or in the parking lot at your workplace. So if you could utilize that time, and this is maybe an intermediate step between self-driving vehicles, which would just be constantly looping to where they need to go, and that's a solution that's a little further afield, and I'm still having an interesting time trying to get my mind around that. But by having an air car share vehicle in your community, so offering your vehicle to the members and drivers that we have that are fully vetted, fully insured, that is one of the solutions that we're looking at to get more miles driven in shared vehicles outside of the hub communities that we work in. And there was one more thing that I've forgotten as I've talked, but I know that Solita has something, so she might jump in and help out with this one. But that is our key focus moving forward into more of the rural communities. And I'm really excited about the program. I think we just need to make a bit of our shift in our mindset of what a personally owned vehicle means to us. If that's part of your identity and you're going to have a hard time letting so-called strangers utilize it, it's something we need to maybe as a community consider going forward. Or is it an asset that you can utilize to make income while benefiting someone else?
Well, this isn't exactly a car share idea, other than there was one thing you hadn't mentioned that I know you've been working on as well, and that is the Kootenay ride share. If that could be integrated with the car share. So you know, if you're taking the car share out and you're going somewhere and there's some extra seats, you could give others a ride who are going in the same direction. You know, the Kootenay car share. How many of you have used it before? It's awesome. You should try it. You can get your gas paid for and company if you're driving alone. Unfortunately, with the ride share, most people are using it to get out of the area, out of the Kootenays. But I don't know if you knew this. It's actually a made in the Kootenays app. It came along before Uber, and strangely enough, it's not used inner city. I would have thought it would be great even for students going to Selkirk and stuff. So I think there's a big opportunity, and especially with car shares. But the other thing I want to talk about too is just one of the things that we looked at when we were working on the climate action plan. I sat on a little committee with the RDCK. Was looking at assets, and you know we run all these different fleets to operate different stuff. We've got a school bus fleet. We've got like a postage fleet for delivery, and then you know we've got public transit, so a whole other fleet of buses for adults going to work and stuff. But if you look at other countries, like Switzerland, for example, has the yellow bus, right? I'll let him have his fun. So Switzerland has this yellow bus. I believe it's Switzerland, and yeah, so they combine everything. So the students go to school, the farmers get their produce to places, you get your postage, and it's also public transit. So why why don't we have one bus fleet that does all these things? I mean, I was thinking about, like, you go up to Argenta, there's a whole bunch of adults there whose kids can get to school, but they have to drive. I don't know. It seems like a missed opportunity. I don't know why they're not on that bus. So I've heard them say it's policy. We can change the policy with enough public support. We can utilize these assets we have, combine them with car share. I mean, and then we don't need to have a bunch of personally owned vehicles. Life is more affordable for people. And then on one final note, I wanted to mention this too. I lived in Norway in the 90s for a couple of years, and I worked for SAS Airlines, and I lived in city proper. Of course, the airport's not there. You have to get there somehow. They actually had employee buses, and that was the norm for all big employers in Norway, is they bus their employees to work. That's another option. School starts later for shift workers, tech, Kolesnikov, the hospital, like Selkirk College, all these places we could be using school buses to get employees to work, and then they can use the buses to get students to school after. The timing would be really good. And the great thing about it is that it would be cost effective. You wouldn't have all these vehicles on the road, and we're not paying multiple times for all these different fleets. So keep your mind open to solutions like that.
Thanks very much. We'll move on to the next question. I did ask the gentlemen if they wanted to answer, and they've both declined. Or all right. So what can regional airports and EVTOL technology, what role can that technology play in reducing environmental impact on shipping and distribution in the Kootenays, while also providing sustainable alternatives to local and regional travel?
Yeah, so aviation is, without a doubt, an expensive way of getting around. I would say recently aviation in the region has become, I would say, ecologically better, in the sense that the smaller planes are now being done away with, and Air Canada is now using larger planes, which are effectively more efficient in the sense that it's less cost per passenger mile if you put more people onto a larger plane. It doesn't help though with improving the access to the area because now you have fewer planes because they carry more people and there's like a limited demand. I think the regional airports could do more in becoming a bit more focused. I mean, I honestly don't understand why Trail Airport exists as a commercial airport and why they don't bring those services to Castlegar. You have two cities paying taxpayers' money to run two airports where they could pretty much offer exactly the same benefits to the region if all those commercial flights were operated out of one airport. So that I'd kind of like to see that. I mean, Trail Airport is useful because it sits a little bit lower than Castlegar, so is available a little more often during the year, maybe 2 or 3 days extra during the year, but it's certainly good as a get out of jail free if you can't get into Castlegar. So keeping those two airports running would be good, but it'd be nice to see a more efficient use of our resources, and I think that's something that's within the power of the regional authorities to organise. It doesn't seem very complicated to me.
Okay, so yeah, a couple of thoughts from my perspective. This actually is, from a logistics point of view, this is one area where EVTOLs could be very important, largely because they wouldn't need to carry passengers. And so when you look at the logistics hub that we have in, for us, Castlegar, essentially, when you're expecting your product from FedEx or Purolator, whoever it may be, I know I experienced delays. From that point forward, it seems to take another week to get to Caslo. That's not an uncommon problem, and I think that's where unmanned drones, and they've been using this around the world on trials very successfully, could actually be used to deliver groups of or individual parcels. And the technology allows us to recharge a drone mid-flight if necessary. There could be charging stations that, again, could be solar charging stations where you could repower the drone and let it do the return flight or whatever. So that I think fundamentally is a very important way that we could be looking for reducing the environmental footprint of logistics deliveries. And that's a fairly large mission for a drone to get from Castlegar to Caslow, so there'd probably be an intermediate step in Nelson, potentially, but that depends on how our ability to transform the way we power these aircraft is. As I mentioned earlier, the EVTOL market in general is moving a little bit, and it's moving to what we call tilt rotor technology, and that's to meet that legislation I mentioned earlier, that if a plane suffers catastrophic loss of power, it needs to be piloted to a safe landing. So using tilt rotor gives the aircraft wings, that the wings can actually move, and it kind of takes off a little like a helicopter, and then it enters forward flight, so it solves some of those problems. So in a larger capacity, we could definitely move more parcels, more packages, more logistics effectively to these hubs, and then from the hubs, a hub and spoke concept where the drones go out. So I think that's a relatively positive solution for the Kootenays, for sure.
I like this idea, because we thought about this too. They don't. So one of the things that we also talked about was, so there's rod share and there's car share, but what if we had a ship share? I mean, we're a rural enough area and we know enough people. A ship share could work too, and I'm just thinking about the possibilities with that. You know, unless you own a business, you probably didn't realize this, but Greyhound actually was a major form of shipping intercity in these rural areas. And when Greyhound went under, it really increased the cost of shipping because people had to use Canada Post. And so I could see how where, you know, like on a community level, if you were to purchase, you know, one of these, EVTOLs, is that what you call EVTOLs? Where that could be of benefit if you're you know, trying to get a bunch of packages somewhere in a hurry, and you could, you know, put them all together. But of course, there's also, you know, if ShipShare could, you know, be combined with maybe a depot at the airports, and you know, buses and bicycles and a car share as well, that would make sense to me. And then, you know, rod share and car share, if they were to, you know, get married and make an awesome app, perhaps ShipShare could fit in there too. And so you don't have to make the trip, but your package might be able to. So I think we have there's a lot of possibilities here if we just had the right, you know, programmer guy. You know somebody, right?
All right, thank you very much. I just wanted to check in with you, JM. One more question? All right. So that changes what I was going to go with next. So looking ahead 10 to 15 years, what do you envision as the ideal sustainable mobility network for the Kootenays, and what steps do we need to take today to make that vision a reality? So we'll start with Rupert.
Okay. Well, for a pilot, I certainly mention buses a lot, but I'd like to see a lot more buses. I see buses and bicycles as being the best way to integrate our communities around here in a cost-effective and sustainable fashion.
Go next. We'll go to Leslie.
I'll step up to the microphone. I think it's interesting, you know, future casting out 10 to 15 years, because really, if you look back 10 to 15 years, did anybody think we'd be here where we are right now? So I'm going to wing it by saying my feeling is that we need to look at this as a whole system transportation plan. So we need, whatever you want to call it, an app, some sort of, well, system, I guess, is the main word, where we integrate walking, so active transportation routes, biking, and I know in Nelson, electric bikes have changed the landscape dramatically of how people are moving around. And then we move on to transit, that I think it's really, really clear that we are not well served in transit, and we're advocating at local government to the provincial government to double the funding that they put into transit here, especially in light of losing Greyhound and some of the other carriers that we had. Some of those holes have been attempted to be filled by independents, and that's great. But that also needs to integrate with ride share and car share. So just imagine if you had one service that you could go to, whether you're looking by calling somebody up, looking at your phone, going on your computer, that said, I want to get from here to here, and it could direct you through a variety of different modalities. Similar to what the bus planner does right now, but it would be adding in car share and ride share and have that flexibility to show us the best thing available. I believe that North Kootenay Lake Tourism was looking at doing an app similar to that, because if you land here from a European country, many times if you haven't checked into it, you just do not understand why you can't get from here to here on public transit or easily. You have to have a full-on investigation of what the different ways are to move around and piece it together yourself. So I would love to see that fully integrated transportation system so that everyone from school-aged children getting to where they need to go to seniors like myself being able to manage without a vehicle at a certain point in time and not suffering the isolation that we know is a negative determinant of health. We need to be connected. We need to be able to do that relatively easily and affordably.
That's a great question, but I also don't like the answer to the question, perhaps, because what it speaks to is increased access to our communities, which is good. Maybe we can even out the tourism year and have more people come here, but the bottom line is we're creating a seamless transportation infrastructure that allows people to come and visit places like Caslow, New Denver, Silverton, wherever it may be. There are definitely challenges, so the next 10 or 15 years will solve those challenges. If you talk about flying cars, you could certainly land a flying car at Castlegar Airport, but have you ever thought about trying to drive the car out of the airport? That's actually not an easy answer because the tower knows nothing about that. They'll tell you to land, and then you say, well, I need to open the gate. I've got to get out. So they're thinking about some of those unique challenges, but they won't belie the fact that we will be able to open up access much more easily to areas like the North Kootenay Lake that otherwise people would find difficult to get to, or it would become a challenge to live in for them. And so with all of the concepts that you're hearing about today, it is creating that seamless integration of these new modes of transport that allows us to get from point A to point B. And commercial aviation is actually the very, very, very worst way of getting from point A to point B, because it forces you to go to somewhere you never wanted to go to, so you can land at somewhere you never wanted to be at. And each end, you've got to find a solution. So commercial aviation is rubbish compared to the kind of conversation we're having here.
All right. Well, I'm optimistic, but we so are they. But I think what we have to do is we have to think about prioritizing other forms of transportation. Like in the Kootenays right now, I think 97% of people drive, and so transportation budgets, that's where the majority of the money goes to. So I've looked into this, that the Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure in BC has a budget of about $9 billion a year. And what they spend on active transportation isn't even half of 1%. Like, it's so minuscule, it's like a little tiny rounding error. And buses is actually not much better. Public transit is really not much better. Anyways, Clean BC has a mandate. They want to increase active transportation and public transit trips by 30% by 2030, while at the same time decreasing the personal kilometers driven in a vehicle by 27%. This is by 2030. This is actually pretty significant. But I don't know how they're going to do that with like $20 million. So what I'm suggesting is that we need to like speak up and hold them to it. So the transportation budget needs to be reprioritized, and I'm going to suggest 25% going towards public and active transportation. So let's say we spent 15% of that $9 billion on buses or public transit, and we spend 10% on active transportation, so walking and biking. I mean, now we have some money that we can actually build something with, and that's still like it's a really tiny amount. And just to give you some perspective, so the pathway that we are proposing between Castlegar and Nelson is about 45 kilometers, and they estimate it'll cost about $45 million with a 40% contingency, so we could see upwards of $66 million depending on how long it takes to build it. And notice I said how long it takes to build it, I didn't say if we build it. But if you look at the numbers, even if we got 10%, so $900 million going towards active transportation, $66 million is still less than 1% of that budget, which means that all rural communities could have similar things. And we'd be connecting also with public transit. So really, we have to look at what the value is, and we're going to be getting a lot of value if we have these other mode options. Driving is the most inefficient way to get around. It's basically a funnel of public funds up to banking, fossil fuels, developers, all that stuff. It's very poor land use. We'd have a housing shortage. And it also downloads a lot of costs on the individual. So waste, pollution, and trying to own a car. It's all like becoming unmanageable. So these other options, I think that as a public, we need to, hold our government accountable and say, hey, let's look at prioritizing some of these other options. So that's how I'm hoping to see the future in the next 10 years.
Well, thanks everyone, and thank you for the sponsors, for bringing together this great group of panelists to share their information. And John Mark will tell you this, but please look at Kootenay Mountain Culture afterwards and share any feedback, suggestions on the thought exchange, and watch for the wrap-up. Thank you, John Mark.
Right on. Thanks, Mayor. Thanks to all the speakers. And we got Stubbs up next. Yes, let's rock on.
So funny. Every time Charlie would do a little, and then let her. Yeah. Is he gone? I guess not. Actually, did he get off his leash? Is he gone? No. Responsible.
总是鸟飞的，它们到处生活啊，它们在文明里面知道你的位置。种草树木种为花笔，并用木土和绘画。打算为开始，打算的出来哟，就有整理。Mobility。总是鸟飞的，它们到处生活啊，它们在文明里面知道你的位置。鸟是总是鸟飞的，它们到处生活啊，它们在文明里面知道你的位置。种草树木种为花，并用木土和绘画。打算为开始，打算的出来，有这有整理。红色的雾，蓝色的雾，蓝色的雾，整个我的艺术。
颜色总是鸟飞的，它们到处生活，它们在文明里面知道你的位置。种下树木，种为花笔，并用木土和绘画。打算为开始，打算为头，有这有整理。
样式总是鸟飞的，它们到处生活啊，它们在文明里面知道你的位置。种草树木，种为花笔，并用木土和绘画。打算为开始，打算的出来，有就有整理。Thank you. Right on. How's everyone doing? Okay, thank you. Us too. Thank you. Karak sinki karak ne se karti ye karkeon ke karke ne se karak ta karak sing Rani Rani Rajakumari Rani Muji juk na ap juk jang basa jang ga tap tap kam karo Where'd you put me rupees? I can stuff them in the 3 rupees inside me shaking hand. I'd be rich if I built a ship and sailed to Pakistan. Karak sinke karne se kartiye karke ne se karak ta karak sing. Rani Rani Rajakumari Rani Muji Jukna Abjuk Chang Masajanga Tup Tup Kamgaro. 100 rupees locked inside that sunken ship. 200 Mara washed ashore awaken Ronnie's skip. 300 rupees keeps me poor in my homeland, but I'd be rich if I built a ship and sailed to Pakistan. Karak sinke karne se kartiye karke ne se karak ta karak sing. Rani Rani Rajakumari Rani Muji Jukna Abjuk Jang Masajanga Tup Tup Kamgaro. Where'd you put me rupees? I gone stuffed them in the ground. Marked them next with a muddy stick so that they can be found. Oh, where'd you put me rupees? I gone buried them in the sand. I'd be rich, I built a ship and sailed to Pakistan. Karak sinke karne se kartiye karke ne se karak ta karak sing. Rani Rani Rajakumari Rani Muji Jukna Abjuk Jang Masajanga Tup Tup Kamgaro. Oi, oi. Hey. Ave Satana Dominus Nostri Princeps Muros inferni canto adorazione replemus Deus Diabolus Angelus lapsus Cum voces nostris Canibus pro Satana Cum anibus nostris Canibus pro Satana Cum spiritum nostro Canibus pro Satana Canimus pro patre, canimus pro Satana. Satan, 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 Satan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. I am singing all the time. 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 Singing songs of sacrifice, songs of sacrifice, songs of sacrifice. Singing songs of sacrifice, songs of sacrifice. Thinking boom in eternity. Satan, Satan, oh, Satan, come my children. Satan, Satan, oh, Satan. Team Satan, we're here to summon thee. And you we trust to sing, we must to live life in glory. Go Team Satan! Go Team Satan! Go Team Satan, hailing from the depths of hell. We praise thy spirit of the one angel who fell. Go Team Satan! Go Team Satan!
Give me an S.
F!
Give me an A.
A!
Give me a T.
T!
Give me an A.
A!
Give me an N.
N!
Go
Satan! We are singing all the time, we are singing all the time, we are singing all the time. 'Cause he is Satan all the time, so we're singing all the time, we are singing all the time. For we like songs that make music, and every other thing that they can do. Satan, Satan, oh, Satan, 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 oh, Satan, thy rebellion. Satan, Satan, Satan. Satan! Thank you. This next song is about Jesus Christ. Oh, there are two things that I love in this life: deep fried potatoes and Jesus Christ. But in my past, I did favor my old lady, but we fell out of love, and now she just drives me crazy. Jesus loves me all to pieces. Jesus loves me one heck of a lot. If he does take away all things, leave me one that I got. Lord, take away my darling and leave me my tater tot.
Upon all these acres and acres of taters, we have grown so much together. But there's been a changing in my heart. We've shared over thousands of meals in this home. Now I'd rather eat here on my own. For my faith in the Lord, it is true. But I need my God and my tots more than I do need you.
Jesus loves me all to pieces. Jesus loves me Take away all things, leaves me one that I got. Lord, take away my darling and leave me my tater tot. Lord, take away my darling and leave me my tater tots. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Very excited to be here. Thank you for having us. We are Stubbs and That. We've made the long journey from Roslyn. Yes, happy to be here. And we're going to do another song. Thank you. And big cheer for mobility. Thank you. All right, this one has a bit of a jazzy feel. You guys ready for some jazz? All right, things are going well so far. Yes, jazz hands are up. All right, here we go. It's about smoking cigarettes. Yeah, old school. Adolescent one, shuffling her feet. The kids she wants to meet all hang outside. Though she's got the looks,
I've got the look.
she's lacking in confidence.
I'm lacking.
But maybe this is the chance to fit in with the cool kids. If her mother was here, her decision be clear. She is Barb and she is her own woman now.
I'm 11 now.
Welcome to smoking. It is hip, it is fun, it means easier with time. With your fingertips, press that cigarette to your lips. Take a drag and give it a try. Little gather girl covering her cough, she just laughs it off. Will she take another puff? Though she's got the look,
I've got the look.
oh, she's just struggling with self-esteem.
I'm struggling.
But maybe this is the chance to fit in with the cool kids.
If my mother was here, my decision be clear. I'm Barb and I am my own woman now.
Oh, you're a teenager now. Go! Welcome to smoking. It is hip, it is fun, it gets easier with time. With your fingertips, press that cigarette to your lips. Take a drag and give it a try.
Is it yes? Is it no? Je ne sais pas. I don't know.
Was it hip-hop? Was it fun? Was it worth the Babylon?
I was young. I was dumb. You don't want
guitar. Let it go on, not a panic anymore. Where she spends more time outside than ever before. Welcome to smoking. It is hip, it is fun, and gets easier with time. With your fingertips, press that cigarette to your lips. Take a drag and give it up. Welcome to smoking. It is hip, it is fun, and gets easier with time. With your fingertips, press that cigarette to your lips. Take a drag and give it a try. Take a drag and give that. Oh, all right, thanks guys, thank you. This next song is about the importance of going to school. You're right, let's do it about the importance of not knowing you have to go to school. This one's for Batman and Robin. What's your everybody's name, buddy? Yeah. Simba Charles. What are you doing with those goggles? All right, this one's for Simba Charles. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. It's important to go to school, but if you don't, well, that's okay too. Yeah, it's important to do good in school, though it's important to know that you don't have to. It's important to go to school, but if you don't, well, that's okay too. Yeah, it's important to do good in school, though it's important to know that you don't have to. Thank you. Here he is right now. That was for you, Simba Charles. What's the next one? Ooh, this next one is about sausages.
Spanish sausages.
It's in Spanish. Anyone who speaks Spanish here? Oh, Simba Charles speaks Spanish as well. My God. This whole set's for Simba Charles. It's called La Reina Salchicha, which translates to the Sausage Queen. It's not supposed to be a funny song, but all right. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Todos tus balas por la noche, vale el bar triste codo bajo la luna, la carne a la brasa, las bebidas heladas. Cuánto cuestan. La hamburguesa, a hot dog, una cerveza. I'm in love. Hamburguesa, a hot dog, una cerveza. I'm in love with this señorita. It is necesita because she's bonita. La reina salchicha. Mostaza y el bulio, porque todos están barato aquí. Pregunto al gringo, los turistas, los vacaciones, sus billetes de monedas, todo. Laras americano y Canada sales.
No hay pesos para ti, si no hay pesos para mí.
Reina, la salchicha necesita salchicha. La mostaza verde, rey y grita su nombre. Bachiller, ay, ay, es una mujer abriente, necesita comer. Bachiller, ay, ay, es una mujer abriente, necesita comer. It is señorita, it is necesita, because she's bonita, la reina salchicha. Hey. Hamburguesa, a hot dog, una cerveza. I'm in love. Hamburguesa, a hot dog, una cerveza. I'm in love. Bachiller, ella es una mujer abriente, necesita comer. Bachiller, ella es una mujer abriente, necesita comer. With this señorita, it is necesita, because she's bonita, la reina salchicha. With this señorita, it is necesita, because she's bonita. With this señorita, it is necesita, because she's bonita, la reina salchicha. Gracias. That was Spanish. And next, we would like to do a French song. Ooh, one French person, maybe. Oh, he speaks French. You speak French as well? You know what? We're going to pretend you do because that's just too funny. Yeah! This song is about a lawnmower. It's called Ma tondeuse à gazon. Thank you. Oh là là. Maintenant, je dois parler français. Il y a beaucoup de gazon ici, tabarnousis. Le printemps arrivé, le soleil fait fondre la neige. Tu les fleurs et les insectes recommencent à naître. What do you say? Oh, that dog. That's Charlie. She travels with us sometimes. And when she barks, the other black dog we have... There he is, right on cue. That's Leonard. Simba Charles, that's Leonard. Say hi to Leonard. There we go, perfect. I was speaking French, right. Oh là là, le de la neige, jusque le monde de la neige, je me rejoins. Jusqu'au moment où tu commences à être différent. Oh là là. J'ai tout coupé pour que tu sois paré. Wow! Wow! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Merci. Avec ma tondeuse à gazon, ma tondeuse à gazon. Leonard! Je mets ma casquette, je mets mes bottes, j'ouvre la porte et je prends une bouffée d'air fraîche. Je fais une sniff, c'est formidable. Et puis je tire la tirette. Voilà, la nature a disparu et tout ce qui vivait maintenant meurt. Oh là là, les voisins ont entendu et rue pleine de pelouses parfaitement vertes. Quand je démarre, oh, ma tondeuse à gazon, ma tondeuse à gazon. Allez! La nature a disparu et tout ce qui vivait maintenant meurt. Oh là là, les voisins ont entendu et rue pleine de pelouses parfaitement vertes. Ma tondeuse à gazon, ma tondeuse à gazon. Allez, allez! Tondeuse à gazon, ma tondeuse à yeah! 1, 2, 3, 4! Merci! All right. Ooh, this next song doesn't have a language. It's an instrumental. Leonard, that's enough.
Where's the intro?
Yeah. No.
Oh, the old folks?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you. What? Thank you. Thank you. All right. We've been through a lot already, everyone. My God. We're going to continue to travel together. This is our next song is about hummus. It is our Japanese techno song. So here we go. Konnichiwa, moshi moshi. 私たちはみんなよく知っています。ジャンプと衝撃。私たちはみんなよく知っています。靴の中にやらってください。私たちはみんなよく知ってます。ファムソン。イスラエルロリラ好きですか？はい、好きです。ママ好きです。イスラエルロリラ好きですか？ファムソン。イスラエルロリラ好きですか？はい、好きです。ママ好きです。イスラエルロリラ好きですか？ファムソン。靴の中にやらってください。私たちはみんなよく知ってます。ファムソン。好きですか？はい、好きです。ママ好きです。サイルロレラ好きですか？ファムス。ファムス。ファムス。好きです。いや好きです。いや好きです。私たちはみんなよく知ってます。私たちはみんなよく知ってます。ファムソン。ファムソン。 All right. What did you say was that? Sweaty. Ooh la 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 la. All right, everyone. Very exciting. This next song is led by our drummer, who's going to sing for you. His name is Eric Sasaki. Funny enough, Japanese last name, but not Japanese song. This one's in English.
Sweaty, sweaty man, keep your distance while we dance. The fish into the glands of your clammy hands that squirt the shirt with the pheromones of your great-great-grandpa's sweet potato cologne.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! Sweaty man, you keep your distance when we
Sweaty, sweaty man, keep your distance while we dance. The visions are the glands of your clammy hands. I squirt the shirt with the pheromones of your great-great-grandpa.
Sweet potato cologne.
Sweaty, sweaty man, keep your distance while we dance. The visions are the glands of your clammy hands. I squirt the shirt with the pheromones of your great-great-grandpa.
Sweet potato cologne. Sweaty man, keep your distance while we dance. The fish and all the glands of your clammy hands that squirt the shirt with the pheromones of your great-great-grandpa. Sweet potato cologne. Which means he be putting it on there. That makes my septum split. Punch.
Block.
Kick. Sweaty, so very sweaty. A sticky chest with follicles like confetti. Bra, bra. You're gonna have to clean you up with the mama. Mama, have to clean you up with my mama's ma. A crop top, hopscotch, plop, plop. My best friend is an Ottawa senator. You're just a turd wearing an air freshener. My best friend is an Ottawa senator. You're just a turd wearing an air freshener. My best friend is an Ottawa senator. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go!
Sweaty man, keep your distance while we dance.
Sweaty, sweaty man, keep your distance while we dance. The fish and the glands of your clammy hands that squirt the shirt with the pheromones of your great-great-grandpa's sweet potato cup. Great-great-grandpa's sweet potato cup. Great-great-grandpa's sweet potato cup. Great-great-grandpa's sweet potato cologne. Which means he be putting it on there. That scent makes my septum split. Bunch. Block. Counter. Thank you. Wow. Oh, y'all, guess what? Guess what? This next song is a country song. Oh. Ooh.
Charlie. Hey.
That always gets the dogs going, them country songs.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever Charlie starts barking, Leonard starts barking, and then Louie starts barking, my God. All right. Pepe, should we show the people of Coslow how to do a little bit of a dance? This is a line dance. Peyton's from Texas, so this is legit. We're going to give you the beat, and you can follow along to Pepe. Come on now. Come on now.
Join in with Pepe. Come on. Learn how to properly line dance with a Texan girl.
Easy as that.
Yeah, give them the first couple of.
Sure. Well, okay, we're going to do it up to speed now. Pepe's going to...
Pepe's gonna stay with you guys.
Don't worry, she's not leaving yet.
Y'all ready for this?
All right, y'all. People of Caslow, show us what you got. Ready now? 1, 2, 3, kick it.
I was a little lassie on an apricot orchard owned by my daddy till one day a dang hurricane blew me away. And now I'm on my own to run the operation. It's the biggest apricot orchard in the nation. Can I get a little help? Somebody lend me a hand. Me a child, but my baby daddy's weak and I was wild. I sent him away and raised a boy on my own. Yeah, now I'm on the hunt, I'm on the prowl, I'm in the market searching every aisle. I'ma make a man a turkey with the gravy. We can find the right fella for me. So don't mind the taste of an apricot stew, 'cause we got him by the can, we fry him in the pan. All we need's a large, hungry, hard-working man. 'Cause my boy and I, we can't stand one more bite. I'm gonna find me an apricot daddy tonight, son. Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy tonight. Now I'm casting out my line in hopes of catching me a dime. A hunk is hungry as an ox and as strong as Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
Hey, now look at that, a hot pot belly plaid wearing beardy and brick with a mouth full of chew and knocking on my door. Oh, what you want, sweetie pie? And he said,
Lady, I'm a burly guy, and I've been looking for food pretty near all the time. I got a tractor in a truck with a trailer, and I'm pulling a tractor with.
idiot in there.
Yeah, now I don't mind the taste of the fruit, the one your dear to see's daddy to grew, and I'll be even looking for a man like me.
Easy,
Boy, I'm on
hard-working man. 'Cause my boy and I, we can't stand one more bite. Oh, I'm gonna buy me an apricot daddy tonight. Son, mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy tonight. Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy. Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy. Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy tonight. Mama's gonna bring it home.
Mama gonna bring me on.
Mama's gonna bring it home.
Mama gonna bring me on.
Mama's gonna bring it home an apricot daddy tonight. Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy. Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy. Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy tonight. Mama's gonna bring it home.
Mama gonna bring me
I said
on.
Mama's gonna bring it home.
Mama gonna bring me on.
Mama's gonna bring it home an apricot daddy tonight. Son, Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy tonight. Son, Mama's gonna bring us home an apricot daddy tonight.
Oh! Wow. We just came from Alberta to play a festival, and they couldn't do that. Very nice.
Maybe you're just excited. Well, let's play a fast one to East Gateway.
Do we have CDs here?
No, we do not.
We can make that happen for you, yeah. Yeah, no worries. Thanks, buddy. Right on. Appreciate it. Right on. Cool. Yeah, right on. Mid-set helping us feel good about it. Yeah, right on. Love it. People usually wait till after, but I like your style. Right. Yeah, right on. Hey, man, can you pick me up and drive me to the hospital? I fell off of my skateboard and I think I broke my wrist. Well, you probably didn't break them, no, they're probably just cracked. Everybody knows it's a matter of fact that every hospital in this world, none of them know how to fix broken ribs. Right on. That was our punk song. Charlie got a little fired up at that one, eh, girl? We don't have a set list, so we're just coming up with songs on the spot here, eh? What are we doing now?
Do you know any German?
Ooh, does anyone know any German here? Oh! This one's for you, my German friend. Swiss German. Oh, we don't know any Swiss German, sorry. This is our German thrash metal song. Or as the French like to call it, trash metal. It is about the fashion ambulance. It is called
Mother Krankenwagen. Eins, zwei, drei, vier.
Nice work.
A super shots.
You need to ride a motor cracking wagon.
Wach, nein, kein Putz.
So far, so
Josef in Zeit, sie Mutter Krankenwagen.
Armband. Ausschnitt.
Traktor, Schmuck auf.
Josef in Zeit, sie Mutter Krankenwagen.
Wieder so viel.
So falsch. Rucksack.
Get it,
Zeit, sie Mutter Krankenwagen. use the shawl.
Shooting the right up for the clock in morning.
Wacknoi!
So hard.
You step inside the massive Krankenwagen. Krankenwagen! Wow! Dankeschön. All right, guys, we are nearing the end of our set, but we have some very special songs to finish with. Thank you so much for having us, Jean-Marc. Wow. And Dave for sound and other things. Wow, love it. Yeah. Thank you. And everyone else. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, thank you. This next song is about the female reproductive system. It is a rap song, and our girl Peyton is going to do it for ya. She just got stung by a couple bees yesterday, so she's feeling pretty good.
Wasps. My body is my temple. It runs hot and it's essential. I got all of what y'all need. I'm equipped, ready to breed. So meet my coochie.
Hey.
The genital that bleeds for 7 days at a time, which is one whole dang week, boy. It's the female reproductive system. I can tell you everything, oh lordy, let me list some wondrous things, all the things that a woman contains. All you window licking boys will be amazed. Emotions and feelings come over me, walking around with both of these ovaries. I can be sad about pros and pierogies, and I can eat 7 2 bitches to me. So let me eat that, let me get fat. Why am I bloated and feeling attacked? I can be needy, I can be bleedy, I can be mad about the fact that all of my days in the 8th and 9th grade, I referred to my vagina as my marmalade cake.
Girl, well, that's whack.
Let's have a listen to the hormone Jehovah with the lesson learned from one Baba to Rover, making sure that you appreciate the feminine kind. The feminine energy is so divine. I heart you.
Oh, yeah.
You heart me, so let's get together and make a baby with my cervix and my fallopian tubes. I can pull myself a baby inside of this womb. You everything alone, let me list some wondrous things, all the things that a woman contains. Ah, you ain't no licking boy, so be a man. My body is my temple, hot and it's essential. I got all of what y'all need. Hey, I'm equipped, ready to breed, so meet my Gucci. Hey. The genital that bleeds for 7 days at a time, which is one whole dang week, boy.
All right. Nice work, PP. All right. Things are going well out there? Yes. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Yeah. This means a lot. We came from so far. It means so much. What are we doing? Oh, are we done? All right, you guys want another song? Okay, here's the deal. We don't really have many more songs, but we do have a song we're practiced and ready for, but it's a little bit... Well, you'll see. All right, so just be ready for this. We did this in Alberta last weekend, and there was some discussions.
There was some chatter.
All right, yeah. So this is our last song. Is that what we decided? Might be our last song. Might be our last song ever. You never know. Might get canceled. Who knows? All right, y'all. Thank you for having us. We are Stubbs and the from Roslyn. We will sing one more song for you, and then we will go home and sleep in our own bed. I love sleeping in my own bed. I live in a basement. I pay rent. But it's fairly cheap considering the housing prices these days. Thank you for listening. I am a man. And this is a song. And it goes like this. Okay, here we go. Enough fooling around, everyone. Let's get serious here. Gay man sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, everyone should try it one day. Gay man sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, of course you'd say that because you're gay. Sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, everyone should try it one day. Gay man sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, of course you'd say that because you're gay. For you've got pictures of George Michael on the wall.
Wide open closets filled with scarves and Aperol.
Couch pillows shaped like a penis from a man. Butt plugs hanging from the ceiling fan. Gay man sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, everyone should try it one day. Gay man sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, of course you'd say that because you're gay. Your kitchen smells like different candles every month.
The bidet in your bathroom really packs a punch.
Postcards from all of your friends in San Fran. Butt plugs hanging from the ceiling fan. Gay man sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, everyone should try it one day. Gay man sex is the best kind of sex, and yeah, of course you'd say that because you're gay. Because you're gay. Thank you. That goes over well or better here, I think. Yeah, very good. All right, everyone's still here. Good. Right on. Okay, we'll do another one then, yeah. That was a tester. That was a fake ending. A gay ending. A happy ending. Good one. Oh, God. Louis never going to forget that one. Okay, this next song is about cannibalism. Non vive in una bara nel terreno e preparato il polpetto per mio nonno cannibale. Cannibale. E vive in un piano così strano e oscuro, la regina italiana del cannibalismo. Cannibale. Cannibale. Mio nonno vive in una bara nel terreno e preparato il polpetto per mio nonno cannibale. Cannibale. Quando è morto macinato esse cuerpo è fatto delle polpetta con la sua carne cannibale. Cannibale. Mio nonno vive in una bara nel terreno, preparato il polpetto per mio nonno cannibale. Cannibale. Vivi un piano così strano e oscuro, la regina italiana del cannibalismo. Cannibale. Cannibale. Nel terreno e preparato le polpette per mio nonno cannibale. Cannibale. Prima di morire mi ha fatto una domanda: se vedi queste polpette al mio funerale cannibale. 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 Grazie, thank you, thank you. Right on, grazie, thank you, thank you.
Stop. Oh my God.
Thank you, Leonard. Okay, we'll do another one. I hate this part because I'm gonna say buy merch. You don't have to, but we have it if you want to. And we have stickers. We have stickers and shirts if you want to buy some stuff. We're actually looking to go into the studio in the end of October and record a bunch of these songs, so you guys could listen to it if you wanted to anytime. So that would help a lot, but no pressure at all. We could give you money too, but whatever, it's whatever. Okay, whatever. Yeah, we got to tune up for a chicken. That's fine. If you want to do that. Do you want to do? We can do a poll, or we can do just pick for them. Okay, we've decided to do a family-friendly song about dancing. And it's a sing-along. If you guys would like to sing along, we could teach you the words. Do you want this encore or not? So it goes like this. I don't want to dance with anybody else. I only want to dance with you. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. Try it. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. Oh my God. There's going to be a part of the song where we're all going to sing together. It's going to be so wholesome. My God. Ready? I don't want to dance. I'm better off sitting alone. Well, I don't want to dance. I'm better off sitting here alone. Ooh, I don't wanna dance, no, I don't mean to be rude. It's just that I am never in the dancing mood. So believe me when I say I'd rather just sit here alone.
Well, I don't wanna dance, I'd rather just sit back and watch. Well, I don't wanna dance, I'd rather just sit back and watch. Well, I don't wanna dance and I don't like to be touched. Plus I really don't care for this music very much. Believe me when I say I'd rather just sit back and watch.
I don't usually ask cause I'm really quite shy, but I've got this urge to dance by your side.
I don't usually dance, but I guess I could give it a try.
But I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. I don't wanna dance, I'm better off shooting pool. But I don't wanna dance, I'm better off shooting pool.
Well, all my friends are gone and I'm not even that drunk.
Well, you're probably better off dancing with some other hunk. Just trust me when I say I'm better off shooting pool.
I don't wanna dance with any other guy. I only want Stubbs dancing by my side.
Ooh, I don't usually dance, but I guess that I could give it a try. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. So let me show you my dance move. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you.
And I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you.
I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you.
I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you.
Try it. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. Yep. I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with. One more time.
I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you.
I don't wanna dance with anybody else. I only wanna dance with you. Wow! Really? Okay! I don't wanna dance. You only wanna dance with you.
I don't wanna dance.
No, I don't wanna dance. You only wanna dance with you. So let me show you my dance. Thanks so much, Caslo. We love you. You are worthy. You are worthy. Don't worry. All right, maybe you're not. I don't know.
Woo! Give it up one last time for Stubbs and the Kemble. Stubbs and the Kemble.
I'm going to put my shoes back in your background here.
Nice. Make sure you pick up that merch. That's how they're going to go into the recording studio and bring you some more goodies for the next time.
We need your money.
That's right. And thank you all to all the speakers for bringing so many solutions. All summer long, we had 4 shows: food, energy, housing, and finally mobility. I'm just floored by all of the solutions that we have and our team that brought this together. Thank you so much to All Ears Production. Without Dave and the team, we would not make this happen. The Langham, there's Charisse over there. Thank you so much. Niche, wherever you are. Yes, Niche, marketing, check her out. And this journey doesn't end here. Please stay tuned for a gathering late fall, probably at Selkirk College, where we're going to continue the discussion around all these cool things that we just brought up to the surface and percolated. Don't forget to enter your thoughts in the thought exchange. If you can, we're going to send that around over weeks to come. Read all the stories on Kootenay Mountain culture. The fun continues tonight. We're going to Buddy's. Come and hang out with us and have some pizza and music by Caro and Jazzy Joe and others. And thank you all so much for being part of this movement. Let's make good shit happen forever. Right on. Thank you. Woo.